Hi, my name is Mike the Healy Gut Guy. I used to have really bad Crohn's disease and a really bad perianal fistula. Every morning I would wake up and there would be it looked like there'd be a dead sewer rat in my pants. I want to show you how I fixed that by using something called my brain and getting to the root cause instead of covering up the symptoms with drugs and boring, bland diets. So in this episode, we're going to focus on intestinal cramps and spasms. We're going to look at the root cause and the 2 steps you need to take to fix them. Okay, before I share with you these 2 steps you need to do to get rid of your cramps and spasms, I first need to lay down the groundwork so you understand what's going on inside of your body. This will only take a few seconds. When you experience something stressful in your life as hard to digest. I can't digest this. I can't accept this. Indigestible anger. This stress is a threat to your survival. So your body is going to put an organ into overdrive to help you overcome this stressor and increase your survival chances. So what the gut does when you can't digest something, your gut is controlled by the brainstem, the oldest part of the brain. It does not know the difference between food and things in your life. Think back to a stressful event in your life. When did your intestinal issues start? What stressful things were going on in your life when your intestinal issues started? Mine started in high school and college when I started getting broken up with girlfriends and stuff like that. And I was angry and, I didn't understand. I couldn't digest that we were broken up, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. What was the stress in your life that triggered your gut to go into overdrive? Now, when the gut goes into overdrive, this is it going into overdrive right here. It's developing extra gut cells. The amount of extra gut cells depends on the intensity and length of the conflict. And then when the conflict gets resolved, maybe you get a new girlfriend, maybe you get back together, the body no longer needs these extra gut cells, so it starts to get rid of them. And in this process, as we're getting rid of these gut cells, we enter something called the healing crisis, where we'll get a fever and a high temperature and all that, we'll feel really sick, the shivers, night sweats. And that's when the cramping and the spasms happen in this phase right here. Because in the first part of the healing phase, water enters these extra gut cells, it becomes inflamed, and it starts breaking down those gut cells. And when it finishes that process, it has to squeeze out that water. And it squeezes out the water with the cramps and the spasms. Okay, so there's a few things that are going on here. When, you could just be having you could be going through the healing crisis, and this process gets really confusing because it's just stuck in a loop, because maybe you're in a relationship with this person and it's a really toxic, you're fighting all the time, you're friends one day, you love your life one day, and then you hate their guts the next day. Notice how I said the word, I hate your guts. You make me sick to my stomach. The language that we use, it's the subconscious mind, takes things very literally, and it might cause your gut to go into overdrive. So with that being said, if you're in and out of fights all the time, there's this constant process of cell proliferation and cell loss. And when you go into the healing crisis, that's when the cramps and spasms are the most intense. But if you have relatively mild digestive symptoms, but you're getting a lot of cramps, then what you're doing is you're encountering tracks, things that remind you of the conflict. And when that happens, there's a quick replay of the program. From here on, it just quickly replays, and you'll get the cramps and the spasms. In general, cramps and spasms are a good thing. It means you're going through a healing crisis, but they should only last for a few weeks at most. We need to remain calm. We're not blaming food. Super important not to blame food. All food is safe, because when you start blaming food, food starts to be perceived as indigestible. And when you perceive food is hard to digest and you're really emotional about it, it becomes its own special program. And your gut goes into overdrive just when you come into the presence of these foods and you don't even have to eat them. The subconscious mind doesn't know what's in your gut and what's in front of you. It's trying to digest everything. And so what we need to relax about our symptoms. A lot of us, it's panic induced, by the misknowledge from our GI doctors and them not knowing the root cause. We need to relax when we get these symptoms. Okay, cramps and spasms. So when you get a cramp and spasm, stay relaxed. Yes, this doesn't feel good, but hey, it's a healing symptom. This is great. Am I in an epicrisis? That's the first question you ask. And you'll know you're in an epicrisis because you'll be sick in bed. You'll have a fever. But if it's just a normal cramp, then you're going to want to look for a track. Identify the patterns in when you get your spasms. Do you get them in the morning? Do you get them at lunchtime? Do you get them at you will start to see a pattern with your cramps and spasms. You need to identify that pattern, and then you can identify the track and start to work on neutralizing that track. Okay, every time I text my boyfriend, I get really bad cramps. Okay, all right. It's okay, because you understand why this is a track. Maybe he broke up with you over text. Maybe he said something really mean and nasty to you over text. And so now every time you go to pick up your phone to text your boyfriend or girlfriend, the subconscious mind, it goes, uh-oh, last time this happened, something very indigestible happened. Let's run the program really quick, just in case. Another sign is like, what are your emotional triggers? What makes you really emotional? I have issues with authority. So just like me talking about GI doctors makes me emotional. But this is part of the healing phase. So it's linked to the intestines, the small intestine, which is indigestible anger, the colon, the large intestine, which is an ugly indigestible thing in your life, and then it's also the intestinal muscles. The intestines and the intestinal muscles are highly interwoven, so this symptom transverses those tissues. So the intestinal muscles, the conflict for that is something hard to digest isn't moving forward. So cramping and spasms is a good thing. It's an healing crisis symptom. So it means that on some level you have already resolved the conflict. So maybe you need to work a little bit more or getting that conflict fully resolved. Maybe you have these tracks you need to find, but that is how you do it. Step number 1, identify the stress. Ask yourself, when did these cramps start in my life? Identify the patterns in the day. What time of the day are you getting these cramps? Is it every time I go to work? Is it every time my boss talks to me? Is it every time my mom talks to me? Is it every time this or that person? Start to identify the patterns. Start to view all food as safe. Food can only give you spasms if you let it. If you perceive it as indigestible, relax about your symptoms. Now you understand your symptoms. Now you know what to do when you get cramps. Look for the pattern. If you're going through a healing crisis, all you can do is, try to stay relaxed and calm as you go throughout the fever and support your body in the healing phase. That's all you can do is wait it out and stay relaxed, address the real life stress. That is literally it, guys. If you want my 30-day plan to get better, I have it right here. All you need to do is go down in the description and click the link. You'll get this for absolutely free. And yeah, there's a video, and then this is a PDF that the video shows you how to use this PDF, and it talks a lot more, it goes more in depth than some of the things I was talking about. But all right, guys, I'm trying to make a video a day, so I need your questions. So go down in the comments below and ask your questions, and I'll get around to making that video. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.